So it looks like we are up.
Do you see it on your end?
I do see it on our end on the ARIS YouTube website.
Okay, so not that one. Sorry, where's ARIS? We had ARIS up. Oh, this is us. So we're live. But why is Vimeo not working? Oh, you need permission to.
Would you like to go ahead and start, or do you want me to hold a little longer?
Hold just a little bit longer. Our software that connects all the streams together has a short glitch that I believe we're almost done fixing.
Okay. When we come back, Dr. Marquardt, I'm going to go straight to you and your video.
Copy that. Thank you. So you can verify that you see the live stream on ARIS?
Yes.
Okay. It looks like we are live on ARIS and we are live on our YouTube, but for some reason the software we use to connect it all, Vimeo, is not working, but it looks like we can just go ahead and bypass that. Just give me about 10 seconds.
Will you be able to show the videos?
Yes, people will be able to see it through our YouTube and through your YouTube. It seems. There's just the middleman software is not working, but it should be still fine. It just won't save the same way it usually does for our records, but if both streams are working, it should save in those just fine. Okay, it looks like we're working on all venues. So I believe, yes, we're working on all venues. Can you confirm it's still working on your side?
Yes, I see it.
Okay, just, well, but it's,
Well, hello everyone. We apologize for the delay. As you may have been hearing, we're having some software problems with the live streaming software. I am John Clute, K7SYS, and I'm your amateur radio operator for today's ARIS, amateur radio on the International Space Station contact. What makes this contact a little different from the usual contact is we are all speaking to you from either home or in small groups as we all work to stay in compliance with COVID regulations. We're joined today by Dr. Paul Marquardt of Red Hill Lutheran School, as well as Norm Thorne, K6UU, the technical mentor. Dr. Marquardt, please tell us a little bit about your school.
Greetings from Red Hill Lutheran School in Tustin, California. I'm Dr. Paul Marquardt. On behalf of our entire school, we thank the ISS astronauts for speaking with our K-8 student representatives who have been chosen for their outstanding curiosity and enthusiasm for space. Our year-long ARIS partnership led students on an amazing journey, exploring the wonders of space with their STEM and classroom teachers. The astronauts are heroic role models, inspiring all of us to pursue and achieve our dreams, especially in the STEM fields. Thank you for your example of dedication, hard work, perseverance, and willingness to share with our students. Your impact and commitment are truly treasured. Please now enjoy this very short video journey and see how our students have learned and experienced about all the wonders of space here at Red Hill Lutheran this year.
Welcome to Red Hill Lutheran School's ARIS event. I'm Isabella, Red Hill Lutheran's ASB president, and I'm excited to share with you all the wonderful educational opportunities about space exploration and ham radio that the students have learned this year. Thank you to ARIS for providing this once-in-a-lifetime experience.
On November 16, 2020, NASA astronauts Michael Hopkins, Victor Glover, and Shannon Walker, along with Soichi Noguchi of the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, were the first international crew to launch on the new commercially owned and operated American system.
We all act in this one performance, to steal the show. We all play a lonely part, separated by ourselves. Does it have to be this way, or is the scene set in a play? Now that the time is here, my friends, think it over, could we be wrong? There'll be more if time keeps on rolling, the cameras are flashing. Could this be the dream? Behind the scenes, we're all rehearsing. Behind the scenes, the curtains drawn.
What do you see? See Jupiter?
Michael Hopkins is a commander of the Crew Dragon spacecraft and the Crew 1 mission. Born in Lebanon, Missouri, Hopkins grew up on a farm outside of Richland, Missouri. He was selected to be a NASA astronaut in 2009.
Friends, think it over, could we be wrong? There'll be more if time keeps on rolling, the cameras are flashing. Could this be the dream?
In space, water just like floats away, and it's not exactly easy to get the water to the plants or anything. So I have a feeling they might be space seeds. I think they're from Earth because in my garden we are growing tomato plants and they look a lot like the leaves.
The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, began October 1st, 1958. NASA's first program, Project Mercury, was an effort to learn if humans could survive in space. Now, NASA is preparing to take humankind even farther than before. We look forward to following the Artemis mission to the moon and one day Mars.
Now that the time is here, my friends, think it over. There'll be more if time keeps on rolling, the cameras are flashing. Could this be the dream? Now that the time is here, my friends, think it over. Could we be wrong? There'll be more if time keeps on rolling, the cameras are flashing. Could this be the dream?
In the past, people used to think that it was just 7 planets, and guess what? They used to believe that the sun and the moon were planets too. So look at it. Anyway, look at this. Mercurio, listen, Mercurio, Venus, Tierra, Marte, Júpiter, Saturno, Urano, Neptuno.
Victor Glover is the pilot of the Crew Dragon spacecraft and second in command for the mission. Victor Glover is from Pomona, California. Glover was selected as an astronaut in 2013. This is his first space flight.
All right, let's see it. Let's try it. Try your astronaut pudding.
You try first. Yeah, you have to try first. No.
How is it?
So bad. It doesn't really have a taste. Just the texture.
You gonna try it?
Sure. Flavor or not, it's a little sweet after that. But it isn't good. Oh wait, that's not a good acronym.
Brogan likes it?
But like,
How is it?
pretty good.
Pretty good?
Hi, my name is Brayden. These cars are going to space.
And why does Earth need space, Brayden?
So astronauts could explore space.
Shannon Walker is a mission specialist for Crew 1. Shannon Walker is from Houston, Texas. She was selected as a NASA astronaut in 2004.
NASA!
Soichi Noguchi is a mission specialist for Crew 1. Soichi Noguchi is from Yokohama, Japan. He was selected as an astronaut candidate for NASDA in May 1996.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Wait guys, how long are we going to be up in space? Oh wait, I remember, 6 months.
ARIS is the amateur radio on the International Space Station Organization. ARIS was created and managed by an international working group, including several countries in Europe, as well as Japan, Russia, Canada, and the USA.
The organization is run by volunteers from the National Amateur Radio Organizations. In November 1983, Owen Garrett carried a handheld ham radio aboard the Space Shuttle Columbia, and this experiment helped pave the way for the ARIS program to be born.
One of the goals for the ARIS program is to inspire an interest in science, technology, engineering, and math, as well as STEM careers among young people. Ham radio not only provides a means for communication, but it also provides support during crisis situations and assists in relief efforts during natural disasters.
Thank you, NASA.
And back to you, John.
Well, thank you very much. We have about 9 minutes until the contact time. The amateur radio ground station that will be providing the radio connection is owned by Dave Payne, NA7B, and he's located near Portland, Oregon. Dave, you want to tell us a little bit about your station and how you're going to conduct the contact today?
Okay, John, thanks. Good morning. This is station NA7V, and my name is Dave Payne, located in Portland, Oregon. The radios and antennas here are software computer controlled, and we'll be tracking the spacecraft using orbital software that controls both the antenna positions as well as the Doppler shift in the uplink and downlink frequencies. This is my first time as an ARIS station, so we hope all things go well. I will start calling the ISS just before the spacecraft reaches our horizon. There may be a little bit of a delay before we hear back from them, especially since our radio is much more powerful than theirs. The spacecraft is currently out over the Pacific Ocean just southwest of my location, and we hope to make contact while it is still out over the Pacific. When I begin calling, you'll hear some background hissing noises, and that's normal. So I want to thank two people. There's Cliff, KD7NKN, and Joe, KC7ZZX, for being here to help me. And that's all I had, John.
Well, very good. Thank you, Dave, for that introduction to how we're going to do things. I have about 7 minutes to the introduction. I think in view of the difficulties we had getting this thing started, Normally we shall show a video that was produced by the American Radio Relay League that explains the contact from the ground side. Unfortunately, we don't have time to run that video today. The ISS is only visible to us for about 10 minutes, and it doesn't wait. So we want to make sure that we are there, ready to talk when the ISS is there. We do have a video featuring astronaut Tim Peake at KG5 BVI that shows us what a contact looks like from inside the ISS. So let's watch that video, please.
This is N2SJ, over.
NA2SJ from NA1SS for scheduled contact.
Hi everyone, I'm Tim Peake and welcome aboard the International Space Station, where we're orbiting Earth 16 times every day. One of the most rewarding activities that some astronauts undertake on orbit is to talk to schools using the space station's ham radio. Now these are events that are planned by ARIS, which is a worldwide group of amateur radio volunteers who are dedicated to introducing young people and students to science, technology, engineering and mathematics. Now this is the equipment here in the Columbus laboratory, which consists of a handheld radio, a headset, and we also have a ham video unit. Now as the International Space Station orbits above your location, a radio link is established between the ISS and your school. Now because we're travelling at nearly 18,000 miles per hour, which is an incredible 25 times the speed of sound, we usually get about 9 or 10 minutes of good radio contact before losing the signal. So about 5 minutes before the scheduled start time of the contact, I come into the Columbus laboratory and configure the radio so that I'm on the correct channel. And sometimes I'll set up the ham video too. Just before the predicted time, I'll begin to start calling the school using the standard amateur radio calling techniques. For example, if the call sign of your school was GB4 Fun, I would say Golf Bravo 4, Foxtrot Uniform November. This is Golf Bravo 1 Sierra Sierra, listening and standing by. Now at your school, the radio operator will be listening for my call, but may also transmit and try to call me as well. You'll probably have a much more powerful transmitter on the ground than we have up here on board, so I'm likely to hear you before you hear me. Then, once we can hear each other, then comes the best bit, which is actually talking to the students and answering the questions. Once I've answered all the questions, we use the remaining time to say goodbye to each other and end the connection. I'll then spend a few minutes configuring the radio back into a rebroadcast mode, and then I'll go back to my day job, which is of course doing science on board the International Space Station. ARIS is a brilliant opportunity for astronauts to talk to school pupils. It's really rewarding to hear how excited the students are when they're talking to somebody up here in space. And it's a true privilege to be able to inspire our next generation of scientists and engineers through amateur radio.
Thank you very much. I always find this interesting. You'll notice that the radio that he was referring to is actually just floating in microgravity. It isn't hooked up to anything, which must be a really interesting experience. I have about a little over 3 minutes to contact time. Our contact today is with astronaut Mike Hopkins, KF5LJG, who will be using the ISS call sign NA1SS. You've already had a brief introduction to astronaut Hopkins. ARIS is an international program supported by Radio Relay League, the worldwide AMSAT, Radio Amateur Satellite Corporation affiliates, as well as space agencies, including the Canadian Space Agency, ESA, the European Space Agency, JAXA, the Japanese Space Agency, NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and Roscosmos. It is about 2 minutes to contact time. In response to the COVID-19 situation, the ARIS program, just like you, has changed our approach. While still able to use the facility, Red Hill Lutheran School was not able to do their ARIS activities as originally planned using large-scale gatherings. Rather, they have students asking questions gathered together with using proper COVID-19 precautions in one area, and other students will be watching the live stream in their classrooms. We all need to be as quiet as possible when not speaking. Remember that what we are doing on the ISS is an experiment, and we can never quite know how it will turn out until the experiment is finished. Students, please remember to say over at the end of their call, at the end of your question. It's about 2 minutes, so Dave, I'm going to turn it over to you in Portland, and good luck with the contact.
Okay, we're ready, and you'll hear a little noise. NA1SS, November Alpha 1, Sierra Sierra. From November Alpha 7 Victor, calling for a scheduled school contact. NA1SS, November Alpha 1, Sierra Sierra. From November Alpha 7 Victor for scheduled contact. November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra from November Alpha 7 Victor calling for a scheduled school contact.
Right now, the ISS is just below the horizon at about 3 degrees below Dave's horizon.
November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra from November Alpha 7 Victor calling for a scheduled school contact. November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra from November Alpha 7 Victor for scheduled contact. November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra from November Alpha 7 Victor scheduled contact. November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra from November Alpha 7 Victor scheduled contact. November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra from November Alpha 7 Victor calling for a scheduled school contact. November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra from November Alpha 7 Victor scheduled contact. We're copying you a little bit rough, but I have copy on you. School, are you ready for questions?
Copy that. The school is ready for questions.
Okay, ready for questions.
Hi, I'm Olivia. What kind of science do you do in space? Over.
Hi, Olivia. Well, this is a national laboratory, so we do all kinds of science. We do science on people. We do science on things like materials and how they're made and water. We do science that's looking out at the solar system and looking for the origins of the universe, and we do science that's looking back down at the Earth.
Hi, I'm Caden. If animals could go to the space station with you, which animal would you bring and why? Over.
Hey, Caden, that's a great question. You know, we do bring some animals up as part of our scientific research. For example, we've had mice and we've had fish. We've had ants, but if I had a choice, I'd like to bring a bird up because I'd like to see how a bird would handle being in microgravity. Over.
Hi, I'm Olivia. What's the hardest thing you had to do while training to be an astronaut? Over.
Hi, Olivia. We have to do a lot of different training. We have to learn how to fly jets. We have to learn how to work in our spacesuits, the robotic arm. But one of the hardest things, because this is an international space station, we also have to learn other languages. And so I had to learn Russian, and that was pretty hard for me. Over.
Hi, I'm Alexa. How does your body feel when you are floating in space? Over.
Alexa, I love that question. When you're floating in space, it's a little bit like swimming, except you know how when you are diving down, you can still feel the blood rushing to your head because of gravity. So up here, it's like swimming, but you don't get the blood rushing to your head when you turn upside down. Over.
Hi, I'm Audrey. What is your favorite room in the ISS? Over.
Hi, Audrey. I love a lot of the rooms in ISS. One of them is the cupola, but probably my favorite is the SpaceX Crew Dragon Resilient. That's the vehicle that brought us up here, and it's also where I sleep at night. So I get to look out the windows every day. Over.
Hi, I'm Brianna. Who is one person you are grateful for and why? Over.
Hi, Brianna. That's really hard to pick just one person because there are so many people that I'm grateful for. However, I would have to say my wife, Julie, who's been with me ever since I had this dream to become an astronaut, and so it's great to be able to share it with her. Over.
Hi, I'm Anthony. Why did the crew select Baby Yoda to float around the spacecraft at launch? Over.
Hi, Anthony. So that's a tradition that goes way back into human spaceflight where crews would pick something that once you got into microgravity into space, it would start to float, and then we call it a zero-G indicator. And so we selected Baby Yoda because, well, we really like Baby Yoda, and he makes us smile.
Hi, I'm Sydney. If there happened to be a fire on the ISS, would the fire float? If so, would a fire extinguisher work to set out the fire? Over.
It's a very good question, Sydney, and we're very concerned about fire up here. So one of the ways that we would put out the fire, we do have extinguishers, but one of the other ways we put out the fire is by turning off all the airflow on station, and then we can starve the fire. So it doesn't necessarily float. It's going to be connected to something that's burning, but that's how we set it out or put out the fire is by starving it of oxygen. Over.
Hello, I'm Aaron. What are your goals for space exploration? Over.
And my goal is that one day you are walking on the moon or maybe Mars. Over.
Hi, I'm Ethan, and what is going through your mind when taking off? Over.
Hi, Ethan. That can be a very scary time when you're taking off because you're sitting on a lot of fuel there. That's basically it's a controlled explosion, but you're kind of busy because you're monitoring everything as you're taking off. So you're worrying about your procedures and monitoring all of the data that's coming in and telling you how well the rocket's doing as you're going up. Over.
Hi, my name is Luke, and my question is, when back on Earth, what do you miss most about space, and how long does it take to readapt? Over.
Hi, Luke. There's a couple things I miss about space. One is just the views, and then we talked a little bit about floating earlier as well, and that is something that is just so unique and so special that it never gets old. It usually takes a couple of weeks to readapt to Earth, though there are certain things like our bones get weaker, and that can take much longer. Over.
Hi, I'm Kaylee. Does space feel like a second home to you? Over.
Kaylee, I haven't gotten to spend that much time in space, but it's a very special home, and so I'm coming up on having spent about, 250 days or so in space, but it is a very special home. Over.
What? Hi, I'm Olivia. What is your favorite food in space? Over.
Hi, Olivia. Well, you know, I kind of have a sweet tooth, and so probably my favorite is we have this apricot cobbler that's really good. Over.
Hi, I'm Kaden. What do you do for fun in space? Over.
So, Okay, we actually like to do floating around and also looking down at the Earth and taking pictures of like our home or special places where our friends live. And then we also we like to just do some of the same things that you do at home. So we hang out together around the dinner table and we share stories. And so that's a lot of fun when we have some time off. Over.
Hi, I'm Olivia. What's the best experience you had in space? Over.
Hi, Olivia. Probably the best experience is getting to go out on a spacewalk, and I've gotten to go out and do 4 of them, and those are pretty special. Over.
Hi, I'm Alexa. How do you know when it's time to wake up and when it's time to go to sleep? Over.
Hi, Alexa. Well, you know, we go around the Earth 16 times a day, so we can't use sunrises and sunsets because we see 16 of them every day. So we actually just have to use our watch, and we're on a time zone that's like over in England. That's so we're probably about 6 hours ahead of you. Over.
Hi, I'm Audrey. If you went back in time to talk to your younger self to prepare them for something in space, what would it be? Over.
Hi, Audrey. That's a great question, and I think I would tell myself to be prepared for all the help it takes from the ground to make space flights happen. We actually have mission controls that are on the ground 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and they're taking care of us that whole time.
Hi, I'm Anthony.
To make this space, our mission happen. Over.
Hi, I'm Brianna. While training for missions, were there any sports that helped you prepare? Over.
Hi, Brianna. Yes, there's a lot of sports. I love sports. Probably my favorite when I was growing up was football, and it definitely helped me a lot. One of the biggest ways it helped was teamwork. As I just mentioned, you know, the ground is very important to this, and so it's a very big team. It's not just the astronauts on board, but it's also the people on the ground. Over.
Hi, I'm Anthony. When you were young, did you dream of flying a space shuttle? Over.
Hey, Anthony, I did. Actually, when I was in high school, that's when the space shuttle was first starting to fly, and so I thought that looked pretty neat, and that was the job that I wanted to do. So that's when I first started dreaming of becoming an astronaut. Over.
Hi, I'm Sydney. What was your first thought when you looked back at Earth from the ISS? Over.
Hey, Sydney. I couldn't believe that I was actually on board the ISS. I think that was my first thought. And then you're just blown away with how beautiful the Earth is from this vantage point. Over.
Hi, I'm Aaron. What inspired you to pursue being an astronaut, and what steps did you take? Over.
So I mentioned the space shuttle in its early days when I was getting to watch that at school, and then my parents always encouraged me to pursue my dreams. And then the steps that I took, you know, I pursued a degree at college that was in the science and technology, engineering, and math, so I'm an aerospace engineer. And then I went into the Air Force, and I started testing airplanes in the Air Force. However, there's a lot of different ways to get to be an astronaut, but you usually does start with working on that STEM degree. Over.
Hi, I'm Ethan, and do you get disoriented on the space station? Over.
Okay, John, we've lost the signal.
All right. Well, it sounds like we actually did very well. The space station has disappeared over the horizon, and I think we all are very pleased with that. You've all taken part in the distant learning activity featuring students from Red Hill Lutheran School, speaking with astronaut Mike Hopkins on the International Space Station. Dr. Marquardt, would you like to say 73?
Yes, we would. Thank you very much to Eris and the ISS, and we will now sign off.
All right, 7-3. Just
73.
7-3. On behalf of the International Volunteer Team, sponsors and space stations. This is John, your amateur radio operator, K7SYS, sending my greetings along to all of you in traditional amateur radio terms, 7-3, which means best wishes and thank you. You may stop the live stream at this point, and operator, you may stop the recording.